Welcome to today's video. In this one, we're talking about rooftop tents yet again here. Today, we're answering the question whether going a more premium route, whether that be a premium company or a premium product within a company, maybe even a more budget-friendly rooftop tent company, something more premium within their lineup. Is it worth it? What are some differences that you can get? And yeah, I guess talking about like what style of tent would best suit your guys' needs, because someone who might want to go and do outdoor camping, vehicle-based camping, your needs are going to vary depending on how many people are in your family, depending on what you want to accomplish, and so on and so forth. So let's dive into the subject here today. Just some context and who I am. I am not a professional overlander, I'm not an expert in the rooftop tent world, but the reason why I wanted to make this video is because one, we're kind of partnering up with Inspired Overland, the company of whom this rooftop tent is by. They sent out the tent to me free of charge. I did pay shipping, but it was still worth my while, certainly, to get this tent. So that's the incentive there. No money changed hands. They don't get any talking points. And so this video is my own. These thoughts are my own. I do, however, want to make this video relevant beyond just this specific make and model of tent. Some of the features that we're going to touch on here absolutely apply to specialty, premium, kind of those keywords that you saw in the title and the thumbnail, stuff like that. But also they address a need, they address a specific user. So we're going to talk about all of it. I love going camping. My family loves going camping. We have a dog and a baby, and they enjoy the outdoors. The wife enjoys it because they do, but she tolerates it and puts up with me. I probably go camping, not nearly as much as I would like to. With a busy life and being a wedding videographer, most of my weekends are hard to get time away. Speaking of, just a really quick plug, if you or anyone you know is getting married, needs a wedding videographer, hit me up. You can find my company Soul Center Films in the description down below. So yeah, I probably only get out maybe, I think I can count on one hand, sometimes two hands for the times in a year that I'm able to go out and get camping. So I don't have tons of nights in this tent. I don't have tons of nights in really any rooftop tent, to be honest, because I have had, I think coming up on this being my 5th rooftop tent on a vehicle. So I have slept in a number of different tents, ground tents, air mattresses, cots, all that kind of stuff, but I'm not putting up really high numbers. So I just wanted to preface that. So I think with wondering whether premium rooftop tents are worth springing for, worth paying extra money for, it really comes down to what features are you getting? Do you need those features, or are those items that you could go without in order to save money, or is just budget not really an issue for you and you can kind of blow the bank? So a lot of questions to really answer. The previous tent that I had before this one was fantastic. I actually did a video kind of briefly touching on it, not really fully featuring it, kind of like this one, but that was the Top Oak Vision XL. Top Oak, they are a more budget-oriented, budget-friendly company. If you're interested in getting a Top Oak rooftop tent, I believe I still have an active discount code. You guys can check that out in the description or just on screen here. The Vision XL was really appealing to me because I was used to this style of rooftop tent, the wedge style where it can sleep 2, maybe 3 people, and it pops up very quickly. It's relatively lighter weight, especially this one, but in having a daughter and having the wife and a 60-pound bulldog, I was recognizing that fitting more people was a priority for me. Rooftop tents are a compromise. Everything is a compromise. Every feature you get, it's a game of rock, paper, scissors, and you're giving up something to get something, no matter what it is. To get that extra spacious sleeping area, I had to sacrifice in weight and in aerodynamics, or I guess you could say just like the wind drag and the wind resistance from the tent being on top of my vehicle. The tent came in a little bit over 200 pounds, and the height of it was about a foot. It's like kind of just slapping a mattress on top of your vehicle, strapping it down and driving down the road with it, and then adding all that weight to get it up to 200 pounds. So it's a very like heavy duty tent. Now that I've done trips with it in my specific vehicle, it's meant for a vehicle with a little bit more horsepower, a little bit more pep in its step. My Land Cruiser, if you're not familiar, has 145 horsepower. That's not very much. I need every ounce, every inch of optimization, that I can get. So that comes down to weight, that comes down to aerodynamics. Depending on who you ask, it might even come to desmogging the engine. I don't know. I can't disclose that here. And another point to kind of go along with that is, unfortunately, sometimes you don't realize what you need. You don't realize what you're going to value more or want to prioritize more. Sometimes until you get the tent and until you use it. That is a huge through line with most camping gear, whatever, like if you're looking at cooking stuff, kitchenware, if you're looking at tents, if you're looking at just comfort items and gear, if you're looking at winter clothing, all that tech, everything in the camping world is going to be, at least should be, trial and error. Don't just listen to someone on YouTube telling you what works for them, so you're going to assume that it's going to work perfectly for you. And no, there's a lot of trial and error that you have to do, a lot of pressure testing with gear that you should be doing in order to determine whether it's the most optimal piece of gear for you and your needs and your budget. Unfortunately for me, the excitement of having that king size space and being able to sleep the whole family up there didn't really seem realistic for me as a daily driver, because again, I don't go camping a ton. And so that's a really big cost benefit analysis for me to run there. So then I kind of determined to go on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Even though I do still have my family, that number is not shrinking anytime soon until the daughter, moves out of the house. Nowhere near that phase right now. I did decide that having a shorter tent, a much lighter tent, and then unfortunately a tent that can't accommodate as many people in it was something that I wanted to jump to. I do have a hub tent. It's from FSR, Free Spirit Recreation, and that can sleep. I mean, you could fit 2 queen mattresses in there plus a pack and play crib, effectively sleeping, 5 people, maybe 6 people and a dog. So that tent kind of like suits the needs of, okay, we have a bigger group than just me and a buddy or just myself. And so I have different kind of tools, different setups that I can go to and default to depending on the camping, I guess, trip that I want to take. It's a very long-winded way to say that I wanted to optimize my rooftop tent decision for daily driving, not necessarily for sleeping the whole family at a moment's notice. Before we dive into the video any further, I'd like to really quickly thank some supporters of the channel. First off, we got DK Mags. They are a gun store local here in Minnesota to me, but they have a fantastic online catalog. They sell anything you could ever want in the gun world. Go ahead, check them out online. The description is in the link down below. But if you head to them in person, they will give you a nice discount on nearly everything in the store. Just let them know that I sent you. And yeah, they've been fantastic to work with, and I've been supporting the channel for a long time. So thanks to DK Mags. Next, if you need quality boots at an affordable price, quality footwear just in general, Nord of 8, they make fantastic boots, sandals, kind of tactically oriented. They sent out a couple of pairs for me to try out, some of their boots and some of their more robust sandals that you could actually run in. And I'm very excited about them. The boots handled great, especially even in the winter. They're very lightweight boots, not so insulative, but I was running them with like the heated socks you can get on Amazon, and it was perfectly comfortable. My feet stayed dry in very deep snow, and I was really satisfied with how they perform. So go ahead, check them out. Link is in the description down below. Okay, jumping back in, kind of where my mind was at and why this video came to be is because I knew that I wanted a lightweight, low profile rooftop tent, and I had a couple of options that I could have gone with. I was looking at the Sanhema off-road. They have helped out the channel here before, sending out an awning as well as some traction boards, and I was looking at their lightweight rooftop tent. I think it's their Hotham Light, and that one comes in at, oh man, I want to say 115 pounds, something like that. But it was also, I think like 4 or 5 inches tall when you closed it. So that kind of checked those boxes for me. The price, I think it was $1,000 when I was looking. Prices may have gone up or down since, and I was pretty convinced that that was the tent that I was going to go with. I was going to purchase it and was really excited about it. But then looked online and saw a couple of other lightweight options from companies like FSR, which I've had experience with, and I love their products, so that was a compelling one. And then also Inspired Overland, and I came across their carbon fiber rooftop tent. And so you had kind of these different tiers that you could go with when it comes to price, quality, and just the overall kind of premium design that you get. And the features that I saw with the Inspired Overland rooftop tent were really just hard to deny. The very obvious standout one was that it was carbon fiber. on the top. So that really helps to shave down weight so they don't have to use aluminum on top. They don't have to use a flat piece. Comes with a kind of a hybrid 3-inch memory foam / air mattress, and that is extremely comfortable to sleep on at night. The hardware is very high quality and satisfying to use. I think it's stainless steel. The latches, they're just stupidly overbuilt, and I love it. They're so nice to use. I love that it's got a clear pouch for an iPad to watch movies at night. I love that it has kind of a sunroof or a skylight on the awning portion here that you can just pop open and stargaze for a little bit. That's a really nice touch. Having the AC or the diesel heater vents on the side, on both sides, because you could choose which side you want to run it in, that is fantastic, so that you're not worrying about where or how you're going to route your heater vent without letting more cold air into the tent. You're really able to cinch it down, seal everything off, and then max out your ability to heat the tent in the cold, which as a Minnesotan, that's definitely a huge plus. We did run the heater all night, and it was just me in there, so that does impact how warm it's able to get, because when you have more bodies, that generates more heat. But it was just me with one diesel heater running up to the tent. I ran it on max power all night. I think that the lows got down to about 14 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was comfortable the whole time. I would say it was in the mid 60s, somewhere around there. All right, guys, first night in the Inspired Overland rooftop tent. Got the diesel heater running through this little port here. It's pretty cozy, pretty comfy. Gonna deploy the sleeping bag, and it's gonna get even better. So yeah, I did have to, like, middle of the night, switch positions, turn my head, get closer to the diesel heater vent. I was getting a little bit cold as the heat wasn't really reaching me with my head over here. The fabric, you can just tell, is very high quality, very waterproof, and I like the texturing on it. One thing that this tent does share feature-wise with the other three that I mentioned in that lightweight category is on the bottom, to shave more weight, they don't have a flat sheet of aluminum. They have extrusion bars that it's kind of like a ladder rack underneath you, and you can really feel it when you're sitting on it, laying on it with the air mattress deflated. But once you inflate that up, it just feels like a flat piece because you're sitting on memory foam and air. So yeah, this thing I was able to get on to my roof rack by myself. I just lifted it up, tossed it on there, and it's 80 pounds. It's super lightweight and very easy to throw around. So to me, all of those features that we went over and talked about are worth it for my setup. For yes, you're paying a little bit extra to get those stuff, but if you're going to be using it, I mean, if it's on your vehicle every day, if it's your daily driver, and if it's going to be the piece of gear that you rely on to keep you dry, warm, and comfortable while you're out camping, definitely worth taking some time to think about, are these features going to suit me, and whether or not that's worth it for you and your family. I would love to do a kind of more in-depth or longer term review of this tent as I'm able to get more nights in it, but for now I'm really satisfied. Like, I'm still able to go through, don't tell them I said this, but I did go through a car wash one time, and the height limit was 7 feet, so you can still get this thing in the garage. I have a lifted Land Cruiser. It's like 4.5 inches tall when it's shut. Closing it up, if you don't have that cover on, that waterproof kind of weather resistant cover, it actually blends in with the truck very nicely, and it looks like it's just part of the roof rack. Mentioning the cover, that is one downside. It's obviously an added bonus that you get. You get that covering that you can protect the tent with. But they do recommend, Inspired Overland does recommend using it when you're, if you're storing it for a long time, or if you're going over, I think, 50 miles an hour down the road. I've kind of been spending my time half of the time with it, half the time without it. And I definitely prefer the look, the aesthetics of it without the cover. You do get a little more peace of mind with that cover on, but I think I'm gonna probably skew towards not running the cover just because it looks better. And then that downside is increased wear and tear on the tent. I think it's only 1, maybe 2 sheets of carbon fiber, so you don't wanna really damage that coating and that protective layer. But I got the tent for free, so I guess we'll just run it like that, and we'll see how it does over time and report back. And then obviously I did know this going into it. That's why I was looking for a tent that was low profile, lightweight, but the increased, you do get a little more gas mileage, but the increased just feeling of lightness on the road, but especially like on the trail or hitting those forest roads, you can really feel a massive difference when compared to that like 200-pound king size rooftop tent. It just feels like it's not there. You don't feel anything up there. It's not making a ton of noise banging around on the roof rack. A lot of convenience and everyday oriented benefits when it comes to picking this one over a heavier tent. All right, guys, I think that's all I have for you. I'm going to close up shop here, not put the cover back on because that thing is a pain to put back on. It's not so bad to take it off, but getting it on is probably a two-person job. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something here. If you were looking at the Inspired Overland Carbon Fiber tent specifically, I hope that maybe my experience has helped you in your purchasing decision, whether or not it's going to suit your needs. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, we got some fun stuff in the future for you guys here. It's been a slow season for uploading. I do apologize. It's been very, very busy. Personal life and work have been kind of swamping me over here, but I'm getting my head above water for some videos here and planned in the pipeline, but I'm excited for the near future of things to come. All right, take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there. God bless. And remember, guys, to live a life worth defending. We'll see you in the next one.